I'm going to start by drawing this guy. He's just about had it. He's snaggle-toothed. His face has gotten dark. I'm talking about The Secret Garden and another thing that I do, looking at Lit Club. I am a writer, and I also taught writing about literature in a college. But I'm very much into the themes and symbols in literature. And the seasons of life is one of those themes that I talk about over and over again because it repeats itself so often in literature. This guy is in the autumn of his life. He's almost gone. But he's not. When he's dried up and withered, he will be winter. But right now he's autumn. And I want you to, if I can get in there and show you something. There's I always share my country expressions because I'm so full of them. But there's a country expression, he or she's gone to seed. And that means that it's past its prime for whatever reason. It could be because he's so corrupt he's gone to seed, but for one reason or another, he's just had it. In the garden, when my sunflowers go to seed, you can guarantee you I don't think they're bad. I think they're fabulous, and I'm going to conserve that. If I can see that right there? Those are seeds. I'm going to talk more and more about this, but I talk about my grandmother all the time because I lived just a block behind my grandmother, and I describe, not a block, right behind my grandmother, across the alley and through a stand of hollyhocks. But anyway, even as a little bitty guy, I would walk to my grandmother and my grandfather, but my grandmother was always home. My grandfather was out making a living so that she could stay home. But anyway, she had this massive garden, but she was just a country gardener. She was a cottage gardener. And when she finished, she always grew, I guess at one point she got the seed from somebody else, or she did get seed catalogs. But anyway, she saved her flowers, dried them upside down in a closet right next to the back door. She wore a sunbonnet, like Sunbonnet Sue. And she wore a denim jacket that she called a duster. If you look that up on Google, in the Western times, the cowboys wore denim, or they may have been other material, but they were heavy dusters to keep the dust off of them when they were riding horses. Well, my grandma wasn't far past the age of the cowboys. I'm old, and she would be much older. But anyway, that poem, and I'm going to share more and more about that, starts. So what she'd do at the end of the day, she'd come in and she'd hang her bonnet on a hook at the top of the closet, and she'd hang that duster on another hook, and it would drag down. But across the top of the closet, she would dry flowers, and she would keep the seeds in these paper sacks, like lunch sacks, but she'd used them over and over and over so many times. They were like suede. But the beginning of that poem is, the bonnet's at the very top, the duster's down below. Fancy flowers are drying there. They're dangling in a row. I'll share more of that with you later.